Goes for the head kick, but doesn't connect. Misses the takedown.
Well, he's landed some excellent shots in this fight tonight, but more often than not, it has been one and done. So the emphasis now moving forward, combinations. Throw your punches in. How about
nice
the slam there? That one cannot feel good.
Trying to mount, he's got it, full mounts. He takes the back. Excellent movement on the ground here, always trying to better his position. Moves to north-south. Looking for the north-south choke. He's got it here. That choke is deep. Oh, now he's got the arm out of the way. This is much closer. All right, we're close here.
And there's the tap. He gets the win by submission. Gorgeous setup on the choke, and I think even better execution down the stretch. Clearly it was sunk in deep. His opponent had no choice but to tap or take a nap. In this case, he chose to tail the tape for this lightweight scrap. So more than 10 years apart, these two fighters, with some differences in height and a similar reach. Here's Bruce Buffer. And we are underway. Immediately shoots for the leg. Well, the wisdom coming in was that he'd want to get this fight to the ground. That'll help. Early takedown is good.
In half guard now. This is where those knees to the body can come and play. Excellent movement and transitions here on the ground. Staying busy. Full guard now. He's now working from side control again.
And busy as he looks to improve position here.
He's got one leg in between them, so he's in half guard here. Moves to north-south. He's doing a great job of moving and transitioning here on the ground. Beautiful sweep. He gets in a full guard here. He's trying to get the guillotine. The tight guillotine. That is a tight guillotine.
Oh, we're getting a finish here.
His guillotine is nasty.
And there it is. Gorgeous setup on the choke, and I think even better execution down the stretch. Clearly it was sunk in deep. His opponent had no choice but to tap or take a nap. In this case, he chose to tap out.
Let's see it again here. Deep guillotine choke, full guard for the tap. And finally, one more time, no choice but to tap.
So a much different approach for him here in this second round. He was a little bit tentative in round one, a little bit of a feeling out process. Now he has clearly found his rhythm, found the range. We'll see if he can continue with more activity here in round two.
He's doing a great job of moving and transitioning here on the ground. Big punch from the bottom.
And busy as he looks to improve position here.
Inside control, tying up that arm, looking for the Kimura. He's got his arm pinned down. Got a very good Kimura. He might get it here, look at this. This Kimura is very close. He might be forced to tap. That Kimura looks nasty, and he's free. In full guard here.
Working on another submission attempt here.
That choke looks locked up tight. He's got that pretty good. That's pretty tight.
And this might just be a matter of time.
Stunning, and
there it
he
is.
really made it look easy.
Joe, you could tell he was going to stop at nothing to leave the judges out of this one here tonight. He was focused on getting the win and getting it by submission, and you saw him in hot pursuit of it much earlier in the round, but he didn't want to rush it. Then there was an opening there late, largely caused by a beautiful setup, and the submission comes late in the round. Kick to the leg.
And he's looking for that left. Caught him with a punch.
Oh! Huge right hand! Defense there.
He's working from half guard now. And he reverses position. Inside control, tying up that arm, looking for the Kimura. He's got his arm pinned down. Got a very good Kimura.
He might get a finish here. Getting tighter.
Stunning. Stunning. And the victory.
Right, I mean, how do you not admire the focus of this young fighter? You could tell he was looking for that submission much earlier in the round, but he didn't want to rush it. He stayed patient, let the setup do its thing, and ultimately the submission materializes organically late in the round. High-level stuff out of that.
Doesn't get it. Nice.
And he finally gets the takedown here. He kept on trying, Joe. No lack of effort, and it's trying to set up a submission now.
He's looking for the twister here from the bottom. What he wants to do here is push his opponent's arm to the side, pull his opponent on top of him, wrap his arm behind his head, then grab a hold of his opponent's head, pull back, and get the tap.
There's the tap. Stuff out of him there, Joe, to finish the submission. It's one thing to get the dominant position. It's another thing to close the show, and he certainly did that here tonight. That's a big one.
And let's take a look at that twister from another angle. Locks down that leg, wraps the arms around the back of the head, and cranks for the tap. And finally, one more time, no choice but to tap.
Separates these two fighters when it comes to the age. So much MMA history has been made inside this venue, from Pride to the UFC, and we are underway from the world-famous Saitama Super Arena in Saitama, Japan. Joe, and now is where things could get really interesting.
Inside control, tying up that arm, looking for the Kimura. He's got his arm pinned down. Got a very good Kimura. He might get it here, look at this. This Kimura is getting tighter. He may be forced to tap here. That's it.
And
That's it.
We'll do it. So how about that, Joe? We can barely tell people what color the trunks are on these fighters, and we get the submission win. So not a lot of wasted time. He got the takedown early, and the submission came soon thereafter. Great effort, great technique here tonight.
And here we see it from another angle. Beautiful technique here, and the tap. And here we see it again. Beautiful submission victory.
Oh, he's landed a high number of total strikes here in the latter stages of this fight. He's really picked up the pace and landing far more strikes than he did his previous. Perfect strike to end the fight and end the night for his opponent, who candidly outside leg kick of his own. Well, he eats a punch to the head there, Joe, and he would be wise to get his head off of that center line. It's almost as if he's moving straight into that punch. Trying to set up a submission now.
He's got it locked up. He's got that pretty good. That's pretty tight. This twister is getting deeper and deeper. Any second now, he may have to tap. He's tapping. That's it. He got him.
Thing to get the dominant position. It's another thing to close the show, and he certainly did that here tonight. That's a big one.
And let's take a look at that twister from another angle. Locks down that leg, wraps the arms around the back of the head, and cranks for the tap.
Tape for this lightweight scrap. More than 5 years apart.
You ready? You ready?
All right, here we go. Will we crown a new UFC lightweight champion here tonight? It is time to find out. Opens with the left hand and lands flush.
Good defense there.
Oh, that punch will count. Landed flush.
Oh, he tagged him. He's rocked.
Oh!
Big punches here. Back up to his feet. Oh, big knee.
He's got him hurt here.
Head kick.
Well, when you lean in like that, you're going to be vulnerable to those straight punches to the body, and it landed right there. He left the body wide open, and his opponent took advantage.
Tagged him with the Superman punch.
Nice combination there by Holloway. Might be able to hook onto an arm here.
He's got his arm pinned down. That arm looks locked to me.
Oh, we're getting a finish here.
This Kimura is getting further and further. He might have to tap. That's it.
From there, Joe, to finish the submission. It's one thing to get the dominant position. It's another thing to close the show, and he certainly did that here tonight. That's a big one.
And here we can see it again. Beautiful technique here on this Kimura. Perfectly applied for the tap. And finally, one more time, no choice but to tap.
Total strikes.
Lands a nice kick. Oh, he went for a guillotine. One-arm guillotine here.
Lost it.
Excellent movement and transitions here on the ground, staying busy. Inside control once again. And now he is inside control. He's looking for a Kimura here inside control, and what he wants to do is, and his arm is out. Kimura. He's got his arm pinned down. It looks like he's got that Kimura locked up tight.
He might get a finish here. And this might just be a matter of time.
He's got it! It was a beautiful job setting up that submission, and once he got it, the fight was over.
Yeah, that is high-level stuff out of him there, Joe, to finish the submission. It's one thing to get the dominant position. It's another thing to close the show, and he certainly did that here tonight. That's a big one.
And here we see it from another angle. Beautiful technique here, and the tap.